So the last group of the day at the Open Championship finds the first tee, and let me tell you, oh my goodness gracious, is scoring at a premium. In our third major on the All-Time Greats Tour, the winning scores were well over 10 under par. When we show you the leaderboard in a moment, you're going to be amazed that nobody is better than 2 under par on a windy and raw day at Royal St. George's. First up on the tee, old Tom Morris. Don't let that 397 stroke average fool you. It's an easy birdie hole, possibly. The wind is going to give it 25 yards, and it's going to blow left to right to 5. So old Tom, one of the great pioneers of the game, going to go play a 3-iron from here. And I bet he hits as close to 285. And he goes right down the middle of the fairway, 271. He's got 159 to get home. Now his son, young Tom, on the tee. He will play a 3-iron. Let's tell you about the first hole at 444 yards. A difficult opener requiring a well-struck drive over a valley known as the Kitchen. A carry of over 250 yards from the championship tee, favoring the flatter left side of the fairway. The wide green sloping away from the player and with bunkers stretching across its front can only be held with a high-spinning second shot. Those playing safe, Goldfinger among them, don't ask me to play it, often aim for the gully on the right. So father safely on the tee or on the fairway. Son is going to miss to the left, and you're going to see that rough here is bad. Very, very bad. And the honor of playing with the Morrises goes to Tom Watson, the 5-time Open champion. He's going to go with a 4 and hopes to put it in play. And Tom hits it 268 right down the middle. And so that begins our coverage. As Retro Sports Network presents a live presentation, part of our All-Time Greats Golf Tour, today from Royal St. George's, near Kent in England, on the North Sea, to the east of London. It is the All-Time Greats Open Championship. And let me tell you, well, first, my name is Ron Juckett. I didn't get a chance to put it on the bottom of the screen because I spent 20 minutes trying to play with a freaking leaderboard. Anyway, so our third stop of our All-Time Greats Tour takes us overseas to, as I said, to jolly old England for the next 4 days. And then in about a month's time, we'll head to the west coast of the United States to San Francisco for the PGA Championship. But welcome to Links Golf. And the thing about Links Golf is the only defense is the wind. There is not one tree on this course. Well, maybe there's one, but it's not going to come into play. It is all about the wind, and boy, the wind is strong. On this first hole, it's going to give you 20-25 yards. You're going to have some side wind shots. You're going to be losing 25, 30, 35 yards off the tee. Oh my goodness gracious. The scoring here has been atrocious. How bad is it? Well, you ready to see? Sure you are. Here you go. Here is a leaderboard in the first round of the Open Championship. Julius Boros, who at one point today was 5 under, shoots a 2 under 68. He is tied with George Archer. Yep, George Archer with a 2 under 68 today. Now, we're not going to update these live. You'll have to go with what you see during the game, and I know that's kind of small. Padraig Harrington, who's won this championship, 2 under through 15. Raymond Floyd, 2 under through 3 holes. And then you get to the 1 unders. Peter Thompson, the 5-time champion, 1 under 69 today. Willie Park, the old Scotsman, 1 under 69 today. And there are 4 others at least in at 1 under. So, Mr. Waterfield, how are you? Thanks for catching us live. We're live tonight. We're live tomorrow night for golf from Lethbridge, Alberta. Go Oilers. And Robbie, how are you? So, young Tom, well, he doesn't have a bad lie here. He's got 178 blowing right to left. He's going to get 15. And look at this. Goodness gracious. He's going to have to hope that his 8-iron kind of goes through. I'm doing fine, thanks. And he got it on. And look how far that rolled. 15 yards away from the pin. But putting is putting, and when I show you a moment the rest of the leaderboard and what the average score is per round, you're going to be amazed. By far, this will be the toughest test of the 3 majors. Now Watson, 164. Going to go with the pitching wedge. He should get the pitching wedge about 160. He wants to hit it over the bunkers. Well, he's in the fairway. That's a fine shot. And now old Tom, 158. Going to hit a knockdown 9 here. Old Tom and young Tom, some of the best golfers the 19th century had to offer, and the pioneers of major championship golf. And that's how you do it. About 10 feet for birdie. Now Watson's going to have to chip this. I thought he could putt. Look at the slope on this green. That's just going to roll and roll and roll. Well, Watson is only going to have about 2 feet for par. And now young Tom will lag it from 45 feet. Not going to make it. He just wants to get this within 3. And he'll get it within 2. So young Tom is in with a par. And now dear old dad, 10 feet down the hill. This is slippery. 15 and 36, about a 5 and 9 chance here. And he just missed. A good putt. He's in with a par. And now Tom Watson for par from 3 feet. Oh, Robbie. Robbie. Augusta's going to look like it's a putt-putt course compared to this. Are you ready? 14 golfers are at par or better. The other ones that are under par besides Thompson and Park, Byron Nelson, Payne Stewart, Ricky Fowler, James Braid, Nick Price, all in at 1 under. And on the course, Percy Ellis, quite splendid, Willie Park Jr., and Vijay Singh, all at 1 under. let's take a look at those who are more than 6 over par. Bobby Cole, Alex Smith, Charlie Sifford, Constantino Rocca, Graham Marsh, Bill Neri, Aaron Batterley, Ian Poulter, Francis Ouimet, and Dudley Hart shoots a 9 over 79. Par is 70, and the course today is playing at 73-17. So if you're 3 over par, you're in good shape. That is par today, is 3 over. My goodness. The field is hitting roughly half the fairways at 52% and only 57% of the greens. There's a gaggle of players at 3 over. Henry Cotton, Freddie McLeod, Rory Sabatini, Peter Allis, Alan Henning, Nick Faldo, Gary Groh. This kind of goes on and on and on here. So Lee Trevino is 1 over through 16. Ben Hogan, 1 over 71. Jose Marie Olazabal, who won our United States Open, 1 over 71. Arnold Palmer, 1 over 71. Bobby Jones, 1 over 71. Gary Player, Adam Scott, David Frost, all in it even. So is Fuzzy Zeller, by the way. And so all lead roads to Julios Boros. Ernie Els, I hope I put him in. Let's see. Jack Nicklaus, 1 over 71. Someone asked for Chichi Rodriguez, and so he's in. He's a 1 over at 5 through 15. Sam Snead, 1 over through 6. Phil Mickelson, 2 over through 10. I hope I remember to put in Ernie. David Feherty, 5 over 75. Ernie Els, 5 over 75. Tied for 121st with Andrew Kirkcaldy, David Feherty, Justin Rose, Frank Nadalo, Maurice Benbridge, Ken Venturi, Paul McGinley, Sam King, Stephen Gallagher, Francesco Molinari, Fulton Allen, Harry Cooper, Patrick Reed. Yep, this course is tough. And so we go to the second hole, eventually. So playing downwind again, we're going to give you the impression here this course is playing easy. It's not. 393, Old Tom. Bunkers at the corner, the right to the left dogleg draw, and any shots within a few yards there. They can be carried by strong players, but the ball usually finishes further left than one thinks, and even playing well to the right to avoid the sand should leave just a short iron to a raised green. Any approach drifting left or right or falling short will run into the hollows and leave a tricky pitch back. Play for the front of the green to leave an uphill putt. There can be a sharp break on anything from above the hole. Pin is cut front right. Three wood for Old Tom. And look how far right he went. Course, by the way, playing normal. As I said, the wind is the defense here. And the wind is just unbelievable. Now, young Tom. Leave your spin a wedge in here if you hit it right. Look how far to the right that went. He's missed both the fairways. Now Watson's going to go right over the bunker. Yep, Miss Sandy Hit is roaming. She's got her leg warmers on. 30-mile-an-hour winds and such. And Watson misses. Look how far to the right that missed. That missed 35 yards. And so Sandy says, uh-oh. So Watson to play first. The good news is with the playing downwind, he can get this on. And you can see the slope on this green. Watson made good contact with it, and he'll have about 20 feet for birdie. And now old Tom, he's, oh goodness gracious, can he even get there? With a pitching wedge. Yep, the wind really plays havoc. I don't think he can get it there. That is a terrible lie. I live in a windy place 80 miles of the Rocky Chinook country. So you near Calgary? I remember that. My dad was out there for the '88 Olympics. And not a bad shot. He'll just be to the right of the green. Yeah, he was an alpine ski rider. And so I remember all about the Chinook. Young Tom has a good lie. You can see it, kind of like Robbie, what we did at the U.S. Open. Fescue, it's hay. You're essentially hitting it out of a hay field. And so if you can't see it, the hay will grab the hosel of the club and you won't be able to shoot it very well. 60 miles from the Montana border. And young Tom's got a chance at birdie here. He's got about 9 feet. So old Tom is going to have to hit the wedge. He can't putt. He's going to aim it to the right, about a yard from the pin. Excellent. You shoot even par today. You are in good shape. He did. Not very well. Pretty amazing for a guy that grew up on the shores of Lake Erie. Here's Tom Watson. He's got 20 feet for birdie. Putting chart 2. 1 is the easiest. 5 is the toughest. 7 and 36 chance here for Tom. And he left it just short. And even, as I said, is what you're going to want to do here. Now, young Mr. Morris with an 8-footer for birdie. He's got about a 50-50 chance from up the hill. But 50% means he doesn't make it either. Then he'll tap in for 1 inch for par. Now the old man. And he's in with par. So Vijay Singh joins the fray at 2 under through 6. Raymond Floyd 2 under through 4. And Harrington 2 under through 16. Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. So the first par 3 of the day. Downhill, you're getting 25 yards. And look at the stroke average. It's playing a half shot above par, 341. That green slopes if you miss it. Originally played as a blind hole over the hill to the right of the present green. You can see one tree, couple trees there, but they won't matter. This hole was lengthened by 30 yards for the 2011 Open. Mounds cradle the green and will often direct balls from the right back onto a 2-tiered putting surface. Putts from the upper level to a pin at the bottom require great touch and the judgment of line. Statistically, it is one of the most difficult Open holes, despite being the only par 3 on any Open Championship course without a bunker. 93 in Lethbridge, huh? So 241. Old Tom is going to play a 5-iron. Robbie, this entire course is nuts. Oh, what a shot by Morris. 15 feet away, and he's got himself a chance for birdie. He's stealing candy from a baby. Now here's young Tom. Wind is not, one of the rare holes is there's no crosswind. 6 iron for the young man. He missed it to the right. Let's see if he can actually get anything here to putt. He's got about 8 yards. And now Tom Watson. 6 iron here. Just don't hit it short. Like that. Somehow that spun and did not spin back. So Watson will actually get the chance to putt here. He'll be first. From 62 feet, he's just going to lag this up. And he hit it. Didn't hit it hard enough. So 4 feet for par. I'm a tall lightweight. So young Mr. Morris is going to have to chip it. And, oh, yeah, that pin's right on the middle of a ridge. Good luck with this. And he leaves himself a tasty 4-footer for par. Now, old Tom will putt up the hill. 13 feet. 1 in 3 chance. But if everyone gets out of here with a par, they've still pretty much beat the field by 4/10 of a shot. Gave that one a good wrap. And he'll tap it in for par. Now, young Mr. Morris, it's not dead. He can miss there. So there's 4 potential misses on the card here. But not with that roll, it's not. He has parred the 3rd hole. Watson. Pretty much the same thing. Yep, that's good. So a reminder, our coverage of the Open Championship continues tomorrow at 7 Eastern Time. I forgot who I picked. But trust me, it's the last group of the day again. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. For those of you in Lethbridge, Alberta, I believe that's 5 o'clock. And anybody watching from the UK, midnight, Saturday morning. And we'll go with the leaders at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Saturday and Sunday, right here on Retro Sports Network. Would you get off the screen there? My computer's being grumpy. Thanks. PowerPoint. All right, the 495-yard par 4. Playing at a 435. One of the great championship holes. The 4th is an intimidating prospect. A towering bunker, perhaps the tallest in Britain. And with a long back, should read these myself before I read them out loud, faces the driver and attempts to skirt it by aiming left, often running further to the left into trouble. Once the fairway's been found, approaches that can range from pitches to a full 3-wood have to contend with a green cut at an angle. Shots run in from the left and balls right of center will fall off on the other side. Accurate clubbing is required. Anything short is caught by a valley of sin with a 6-foot climb to the flag that makes 2-putting a rarity. But out of bounds is only 3 paces over the back. Look at this. You're going to lose 15, and then this playing right to left, 20 yards. So old Tom is going to go over that bunker and play a driver. And drivers on these courses are not good. But he got all of that one. And he hit it 329 yards. Well, we have a couple people out in the West Coast and they forget about the time differential and stuff. So, yes, I manually added it. It's 5 p.m. tomorrow and 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. So old Tom hits at 329. He's got 178 to get home. Now the son, driver in hand. Finds the fairway with it. 295. He'll have 205. Tom Watson, who I don't think won here. Darren Clark was the last to win at Royal St. George's in 2011, and yes, he is in the field. Trying to get as many Open champions as I could. What a roll. Got 217. He'll be playing next. He's going to lose 5 yards, but the crosswind is 15. So he's actually going to aim it for the rough on the right. And play a cut down 5. Tigers 5. Kraken 2. Alexa, what's the score of the Nationals game?
Yankees 2. Nationals 1 and the first score was 2-1 Yankees.
Thank you.
Anytime wrong. Have a good evening.
You too. Now, everybody watching on tape now is going to have their thingies go off. So Watson, as I said, look where he's aiming. He's just trying to get this on the green. And he does. Will it stay? Yes, it will. Yeah, you and Big Clue have asked for night streams, and starting next Wednesday, we will have a primetime game, 7 Eastern, 5 Mountain Time, right here on Retro Sports Network. Now, here's young Tom. Has the right club in hand. Playing right to left with the 6-iron. Again, he is aiming this in the rough. Won't hit the green, but he's not in the rough either. Mr. Waterfield's been a Tiger fan since the summer of '68. My dear, dear friend, Jim, who was the friend that paid me, could never call him the boss, also a Tiger fan. Robbie, it's a joke. Old Tom, kind of aiming this one to the fairway. 7-iron for him. And look what that ball did. It found the green and nearly rolled off. How you doing, Eddie Ball Game? Royal St. George's has been playing tough, my friend. The course is playing 3 shots over par. Par 70 here. And the average score today is 73-10. So young Tom, oh, look at that ridge. Holy goodness gracious. Going to try to put this to the left by about a yard. He's got some work to do, about 5 feet. Again, the average here on 4 is 435. Now here is old Tom. He's not going to go for it. Up the big slope. Hopes to get this to within 1 to 3 feet would be ideal. 4 feet is okay. You just don't want a lot of those. And now Watson, who found the green, he's actually going to go for this. The birdie here on 4 is like being able to afford a bottle of Dom Perignon. It's just stealing. And he got so excited he missed it by 5 feet. Now, young Tom, 5 feet away, up the hill, a bit left to right. Mr. Watson from 5 feet, 29 to 36. And he missed it. He missed it. In fact, he said Miss Sandy Hit's name, I think, after he hit that putt. He falls to 1 over. Old Tom from 4 feet. Oh, and he missed it by 2 feet. I believe he used Sandy's name in vain about 6 times on that putt. And so they're in with a bogey. Only 3 golfers now are at 2 under par. Raymond Floyd hanging in at 2 under through 6. The rest of the leaderboard at 1 under. Julius Boros and George Archer. Yup. 2 under 68 here at the Open Championship. You ready for this one, boys and girls? Welcome to the 419-yard par 4 fifth hole, the first sight of the sea, the North Sea. 3 bunkers guard the left of the fairway, which is divided by a band of dune-flanked rough dotted with more sand. The second shot can range from a short iron to a wood over or between the dunes to a long bunkerless green that slopes from the right. Although the furthest mound is 320 yards from the tee, many open competitors take on the carry. But thanks to some recently created moguls down the right-hand side of the second part of the fairway, more birdies are made from those playing short of the sand ridge. It's about 257 to the first part. Nope, no one's cutting it on. So young Tom, we'll aim it to the right. And if you aim for the bunkers, you'll miss them. Yeah, if I could play golf, that's how I would do it too, for sure. And young Tom has missed it to the right. And he's got 235. The hole playing to a stroke average of 4.42, or nearly half a shot over par. Three iron for the old man. He won his Opens at Prestwick, a 27-hole course, and no longer part of the Open Rota. That would be one I would love to see made for a game, because the first ever major championship, or professional championship for that matter, in golf was played in 1860. Which was not last week. He misses further to the right. You know what? It's left to right, not right to left. Five iron for Watson here, who's going to be aiming for the bunkers. There you go. You know, me learn to play golf someday. And Watson misses to the left. Nobody hit the fairway. All right, that's how we do it. So first up from the fescue, you can't see that ball, is young Tom. He's got a 10-yard crosswind left to right. I'm going to pull out the 7. He just kind of hopes to put this... Oh, Ronnie, hopes to put this in play. And now you know why. Even the arrow should have told me that. Oh, wells. And he still puts it in the rough. He couldn't even get it on the fairway. Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting hole, isn't it? Next up is Tom Watson. He can get it there. He is aiming to the fairway on the left. He's going to lose 5. Look at the crown of that green. So 4 iron in hand. I think he's going to get back that bogey, isn't he? It's a kind of nice thing, so it really doesn't matter how hard or not I hit it. It's predetermined by that red 6 and that blue 2. When it reads to a 4, and up there on the top right is a table read, and Tom Watson has about 3 feet to get back to level. Now, old Tom takes that 7 iron. Got the same bum lie as Kid did. And he gets the same result as his Kid too. Right, we move ahead. So the key here for young Tom is spin this about 2 yards short of the hole and let go. So par is not out of the question, but you've got to hit the shot. And there is absolutely nothing flat about this green whatsoever. And the further from the hole you go, the more it rolls. The more it rolls. So young Tom lies 3, and he's still not on the green. Now, old Tom finds the green, 30 feet for par. I don't know if Gardner's still here. You know, it took me about 2.5 years to figure out that I got a mute button on this mic when I sneeze. So, young Tom has got to be careful because he is chipping up the slope. If he hits it short, it's going to roll right back down to him. This is for par. Oh, he nearly holed it. What a shot. It is a handy feature. Now the old man, 28 feet. He's going to go. He's at 1 over. And he nailed it. Oh, he read that perfectly. And so he remains at 1 over par. Now the young man. 4 feet for bogey. Yep, dead center. And now Watson to get that bogey back, birdie back. This is for level. And he does it. So, a par, a birdie, and a bogey. And so we go to the 6th hole. I said we go, there we go. A 178-yard par 3, playing at a stroke average of 314. The Maiden, named after the shape of the towering dunes surrounding it. The long 2-tiered green at an angle to the tee can be tricky if a shot finds the wrong level. Bunkers surrounding the putting surface away anything pushed, pulled, or underclubbed. So 181, it is blowing 5 yards short, so he's going to have to hit it 185, and a right to left crosswind of 15 yards. So look where the aim point is, Robbie. A dune. Here's the green. Look at that. So if you leave it short, it's going to roll. A knockdown 7-iron. That's the beauty of links golf. That's the name of the game, and that's the Open Championship. This isn't in Scotland. It's the furthest course south in England on the championship rota, R-O-T-A, or rotation. Kind of like landing at Kai-Tak in Hong Kong, isn't it there? You got to navigate it over that nasty bunker, and Watson has about 10 feet for birdie. The other half is British. Old Tom. 7-iron. He's 1 over. No, you can't miss. And that'll barely hold. Back down 7 for young Tom. He hit the green and it rolled about 10 yards back. So Old Tom can putt from here, and I think we will. Just not really going around with that. 29 feet. Gonna lag it. Get this close, and he can be 1 over through 6. 3 feet, he'll take that. Now the sun from 37 feet. Young Tom, putting chart 2, is gonna lag this. Don't be dumb. 3 feet. Now Tom Watson, 12 feet for birdie. He's got a 5 and 18 chance here. This is to get to 1 under and 1 back of the lead. Dead center. And that's why Watson has won 5 of these things. Old Tom for par from 3 feet. Yep. Young Tom from 3 feet. Yep. And so Tom Watson joins that gaggle at 1 under. Now Vijay Singh on the course is at 2 under through 10. Jack White is 2 under through 9. Ray Floyd 2 under through 8. And Mark O'Meara is 2 under through 7. And so, speaking of baseball, Alexa, what's the score of the Washington Nationals game?
I don't know that one.
You did before. Alexa, what's the baseball scores? Alexa, what's the baseball scores?
The Yankees are beating the Nationals 2-1 at the bottom of the second. The Bay Stars beat the Swallows 6-0. The Lions beat the Marines 3-2. The Fighters beat the Hawks 3-2.
Thank you. A little Korean action in there for you, too. So tomorrow, join us at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, or 10 Mountain Time, as the Philadelphia Phillies, leaders of the National League East, take on the Los Angeles Dodgers, leaders of the National League West. Join us for baseball tomorrow, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Any other time zones you want me to publicize? We can do Central Time for Robbie. That's 11 a.m. Central. The Phillies and the Dodgers, right here on twitch.tv/retro or / Retro Sports Network. So we go to the 7th. We finally have the lone par 5 on the front side, and yes, it's playing under par. The first of only 2 par 5s, the crest of the hill, which hides the fairway from view, is almost 280 yards away from the back tee. The ideal line is over its left side, using the left to right slope at driving length and avoiding the bunkers on the right. The hole turns slightly left for a second shot that can offer rich rewards. There were a few eagles here today. Almost all of the eagles achieved during the Open Championships at Sandwich are made here. Noon Eastern, Eddie says, and 8 a.m. for Alaska. Thank you. By the way, I love it. I got a Hank Aaron number now for YouTube subs at 715. So Watson, this one's going to go from left to right 10 yards, and he's going to get 20 off the tee. He's going to try the driver. See if it works. And he lost it left. 269 to get home. Old Tom is going to try to ride the wind and get this close. 1 over. Remember, that's only 3 shots back. Julius Boros at one point on his round today was 5 under. And gave 3 shots back. Well, you know, if you put it somewhere between Watson and the old man, Mr. Morris, you're going to have an eagle shot here. Somebody had to find that fairway, and he's only got 250 to get home, and that's going to be downwind. It's also going to be crosswind. Old Tom to play first. He can go with a 3-wood. It's into the wind. "20 yards crosswind, left or right." He cannot get it there. I think he's hoping not to go in that bunker. And he chunked it. In fact, he got a bad lie, which he didn't know. So he got the hosel of the 3-wood wrapped in some hay, and there's a couple of sheep that are put out that their dinner's gone. So Morris will have 120 for his third, but he is in the fairway. Now Watson, 268. How much input does the human matter for a golfer? Well, Eddie, I aim everything. I'm reading the charts. You know, you don't want to stop too long because this takes long enough now. 47 minutes into this on the 7th hole. So I can aim and I can choose the club and I can set the weather conditions. I didn't. The computer does that. So you can hit draws or fades. So you certainly have to think about every shot. But it's a dice roll against a table after you line up where you want to go. And old Tom had a bad lie, got a good shot out of it. He's still not in the fairway. He's got 80 yards. Now, young Tom can get there, and he's not going to have a questionable lie here. He's got 250. So a 3-iron, is the mouse on the screen? No, I took the mouse off the screen. So I select the club, and I select the aim point. And everything else is voodoo. If he hits this right, it should be close. And he put it in a bunker. In a pop bunker. Well, it's kind of like when you got socks for your birthday. You got something, but no one's going to like it. So here is Old Tom, 120. Crosswind's now at 10 left or right. Going to lose 5 yards. So we're going to play a knockdown pitching wedge. Aiming it to the left of the hole of 10 yards. This is his third. Spun the wrong way, but he's 2 putts for par. 33 feet. Now Tom Watson. This green looks relatively tame. You can go right at it. The question is, how much of will that fescue mess with the club? Well, he got a putt for birdie coming from 33 feet. Now, young Tom, he's going to have to lob. And the lob, I'm automatically aim Eddie at the pin. He's just trying to get this out. Mr. Waterfield's playing the 75 Sox, home to the 95 Mariners. T-Hunt versus Randy Johnson. What engine, my friend? Oh, what a pitch by young Mr. Morris, and he's going to have about 4 feet for birdie. Dear old Dad's got 33 feet. He's going to go for it. He made a 33-footer already. And this is to get to level par. Earl Weaver. Oh, yeah, I see that. And you created your own teams, right? An honest-to-goodness Amiga, or is that an emulator? Gave it a good whack, 3 feet from the hole. Now, Watson, real deal. Cool beans. You have 2. Awesome. Tom's going to go for this. He's going to try to tie for the lead. 33 feet, a 1 and almost 6 chance up the hill. Yep. Now he's got 5 feet coming back down the hill for par. So young Tom, who would have known that making the bunker would have actually given him there? Yeah, but emulators, they also had it for the PC, Robbie. That's how I did it. I had a Tandy at that point. 5 feet down the hill. And young Mr. Morris is now a level. We don't say even, we say level. Now, Tom Watson, there's 5 misses on the card here. But he won't matter. That's in for a par. Stays at 1 under. Now, old Tom makes his par. So, through 7 holes, Tom Watson, 1 shot out of the lead here at the Open Championship. Royal St. George is playing to a par of 70. Oh, would you look at this beauty, huh? Once a par 3. This is now a tough test requiring an accurate uphill drive. 2 bunkers, collect anything center right. But the best line is left for a clear downhill second over 80. Second, period. Over 80 yards of rough to a long, deceptively contoured green nestled in the sandhills. One of the fastest on the course, it's bisected by a ridge, and bunkers eat into its front corners. Pin is cut front left. This is always the most difficult open hole, playing at 4.4 today. Well, you might have to aim for the bunker. It's going 20 yards right to left. You're losing 10 yards. So we'll take Bob Waterfield's advice here and aim for Jane Russell. And it worked. I aimed for the bunker and hit a dead center. How about, the quarterback from the Rams. Here's Watson. Oh, my goodness. He hit that 47 yards left of target. Good luck. Good luck. Now the old man, 1 over par. Just like they drew it up or something like that. He's got 154 now. Tom Watson, I'm not sure he can even get it. I don't know what he can do here. He's going to lose 5 yards. I think you can leave it just short. with where I'm aiming it. Ouch is the right word. And no. No. Boston's up 1-0 in their fake game. Yes, you can. You can homebrew your cards in this. Although you can, there are decade sets. But yeah, I had a tour where I played my own card. All right, Mr. Young Mr. Morris. 169 iron is what he's going to play. Last time I looked, the Yankees were ahead of the Nationals 2-1 in real life. Alexa, what are the scores in the NBA?
I couldn't find any games.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
NBA starts up tonight too, right? See how many downvotes I get on YouTube for this one. Hey, young Mr. Morris, it's a perfect shot. Yankees are up 3-1, I'm being told. That's the real game. And the fake Red Sox are up 3-0 on a 2 RBI single by Fisk. Morris is 30 feet. Now, old Tom. Gonna go with a 9 iron. And he left that short. Should be an easy pitch up and down. All right, let's see what Tom Watson can do. He's got 58 yards. He's going to aim. Oh, my goodness gracious. That thing's on a ridge. This green has more nooks and crannies than your average Thomas English muffin. From 58 yards, and he hits it dead solid perfect. My goodness. He's got about 4 yards, or 2 yards to the pin. I'm seeing me buffering. Thank you, Robbie. I'm going to lose the chat here for a second. All right. So Watson with an amazing shot there. And he'll have a crack at par. Now here's old Tom. Again, look where he's going to aim for the hole here. You got to have hands of butter for this shot. And there's a crumpet with his name on it as he's going to tap that in for par. Now, young Tom is going to putt. He's not going to go for it. This is to stay at level. I'm sorry, it was for par, so for birdie. So this is to stay at level. Yep. Now, Watson, a 6-footer for par. That seems like a lot, but from where he was, that was pretty bad. 2 and 3 chance here. And he left it short, so he's going to fall back to even par. And the old man stays at 1 over. PJ Singh and Jack White. 2 under through 12 and 11 respectively, and everyone else is staying on the board. 95 Mariners are on the board against the 75 Sox. So we go to the 9th hole. Look at this. It's 25 yards into the wind. Holy Snickers. And a 10-yard left or right crosswind. A relatively short hole, but with a demanding second shot to a distinctive green. Originally played along the ridge that extends down its right-hand side, the fairway now snakes between the dunes, which can guide offline drives back to the short grass. Approaches will run in from the right, but can be carried away by a drop-off, and anything left is likely to end in one of 2 deep bunkers or face the most delicate of pitches. Yeah, you need a low shot. You can't get it in this game. The green is long and undulating with breaks up to 8 feet. Holy Snickers. So Mr. Morris has a driver in hand. Yep. An Action PC, you could hit a low one here. This one's going to be torturous. Going to lose 25 off the tee with his driver. If this goes 270, it's going to be a pretty good shot. That thing just rolled. He had a 281, he had a dead center, and it rolled nearly off on the left. My goodness. Old Tom still at one over. And that thing hit the fairway and bounced in the rough. He's got 143. Watson now at even par. Well, that's how the textbook draws it up. 286 off the tee, 119 to get home. And depending on the wind, he may be able to spin a wedge in. I doubt it, not with a 25-mile-an-hour wind. All right, Old Tom. Oh, Mike Blowers has tied the game for Seattle and the 75 Sox. So Old Tom is just going to give this a wrap. Oh, now he's in between clubs. So a knockdown 8-iron. This could be a challenge. Or not. The golf gods giveth and the golf gods taketh away. But at this point, they just handed him a gift. Now young Tom minus 10. It's going to blow left or right at 5. Sand wedge. This is a tricky shot because he's between clubs. And he'll leave it 30 feet short on the fairway. Now Watson can punch this in from 120. Look at the green. That's a shelf. In fact, that's about a step. He's going to try to go for this. Unbelievable. No, my goodness. Well, you can say it's not fair, but that's how you win 5 of these bloody things. Have it about 2 feet for birdie. All right, here's Morris. Young Mr. Morris needs to land it. You can't go too far with it because they'll go down the ramp the other way. Well, he's not liking that, but it's about 9 feet for par. So the old man is 11 feet. About a 1 in 3 chance. And he left it a foot short. All right, the kid's got 8 feet for par. About a 50-50 shot here. And now he's going to go to 1 over par. All right, Tom, 3 feet. Oh, I didn't realize they're all named Tom. Mr. Watson, 3 feet to make the turn in 34. He makes the turn in 34. And so we're going to go to a commercial. Jack White, by the way, is at 3 under par through 12 holes. BJ Singh, 2 under through 13. Dustin Johnson, Raymond Floyd, Brian Barnes, and Tom Watson are under par on the course. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Well, coming to a computer screen near you late August and September. This fall, while the real major leaguers argue it out, we'll be having our 1978 MLB playoffs. And of course, we're not like ABC and NBC. We own the rights to everything. So the American League Championship Series, the National League Championship Series, and the 75th World Series, late August and early September 2020, right here on Retro Sports Network. And wouldn't you know it, there we go. And so, no, this has not been a birdie fest, as you can see. 3 under par is the best score on the course. Now, Vijay Singh has done that on the 14th, so someone might shoot a 67 today, but this is survival of the fittest. Thank you, sir. So, as we start the back 9, Tom Watson is 2 back at 1 under par. This is going to be attrition all week, unless the wind stops. And then all bets are off. You ready? Let's go. So falling away sharply on all sides, the elevated green sits on the horizon, making second shots difficult to judge. Drive should favor the left side of the fairway, which is protected by a solitary bunker. The drop-off behind the green is especially severe, and a second shot that is not kept right of center is likely to run into one of 2 deep and greedy bunkers left. So a tactical play is often go for the front apron. There are often more 6s or worse here in the championships than on the par 5 7th. Tom Kite was one victim, going from bunker to bunker to destroy his open chances when leading here in 1985. Surprisingly, it is playing at level par of 4 today. Watson is going to get 10. It's going to go right to left at 15. So a 3-wood to the right edge. And he'll take that 17 days out of 20. 268, 138 to the flag, and right dead center. Old Tom is going to go for it with the driver. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness gracious. He hit that 318 yards. Somebody had their Wheaties this morning. My goodness gracious. Now young Tom. Yeah, that was crushed. And young Tom does the same thing. Well, that's why it's playing even. So Mr. Watson is going to be upset that he didn't take the driver. But 20 yards downwind, he's still going to go in there with a wedge. It's in the blood. So this green kind of has a sharp ridge halfway through, and anything missing left is going to find one of those deep bunkers. It's in the blood, yeah. Watson, 140 with a wedge. He's got that to go to 2 under. He spun that one in rather nicely. The Kraken, not just in Seattle anymore. Now here's old Tom. 85 yards, just going right at it. In fact, he's going to use the backstop of the slope to his advantage. He's got about 5 feet for birdie. Young Mr. Morris, 82 yards. So 3 birdie putts possibly coming up. Well, 15 feet. So young Mr. Morris at one. Well, they're both one over. 13 feet for birdie. I wonder, you know, as we talk about that Seattle Kraken, if someone will let an overpriced goalie go, or overpriced goalie go. Hopefully not Carey, but you know what I mean. I mean, that's what had Vegas do so well their first year. 7 and 18 chance here for young Tom. Left it 2 feet short. Now, old Tom, 5 feet. Good chance here. This is to get the level. And hit that one dead solid perfect. And now Tom Watson to get within 1 of the lead at 2 under. Tom has made this look easy. And Uncle Ron jinxed him. How about that? Didn't hit it hard enough, and so he remains at 1 under. So we go to the 11th. A par 3, 243 yards, 322 the stroke average. The green of what was originally played from behind the 10th as a par 4 looks inviting. No, it doesn't. Not really. But shots have to be precisely targeted with length at a premium. The right to left slope is likely to feed anything a little short into the sand. A little too much in a gully with a sticky bank beyond, a weight at the back. Running up a tier with a significant break, putts are notoriously difficult to read. So we got a 20-yard left to right crosswind, and you're going to lose 10 off the tee because of the wind. That green doesn't look so bad now, does it? Of course, as Jane Russell's husband says, you aim it at the bunker and let it draw. Three iron from Morris. 95 Mariners lead the 75 Red Sox 4-3 in the 8th.
Right.
37 yards off target. Well, Thomas didn't say R on that one. Mr. Watson. That's true. Marilyn Monroe, too. Four iron for Watson. He's aiming it right at the bunker. The only thing I know Jane Russell for, I'm going to show my age here. Oh, what a shot by Watson. Don't get Jane Russell confused with Jane Mansfield. What a shot by Watson. He's got 15 yards, or 15 feet rather. Old Tom says, I'll do that. 4 iron. And he hit it to the right. He's 29 yards off target. He's got to flop it over a deep bunker. Uh-oh. Ken Griffey Jr. 2-run shot, 6-3 Seattle. Assuming the Yankees are still up 3-1. All right, old Tom Morris going to try to get his aim it about a yard past the hole. He's got to land this on the fairway or else it'll get stuck. I know Jane Russell from those Playtex Crush Your Heart bras that would advertise in the soaps my mother used to watch back in the late 70s. Which was also not last week. And this, just because I haven't said it in the first hour and 15 minutes, is not the type of thing you normally hear on a Fortnite stream. That ball ran rather nicely for old Tom. going to have about 7-8 feet to save his par and stay level. Now, young Tom, I think, no, he's not going to have the bunker to contend with. He's going to go for about a yard past the hole, so he's not going to be forced to lob it. He can pitch it. And that ran away from young Mr. Morris, and he's gone about 12 feet for par. Meanwhile, Tom Watson is trying to get to 2 under. A 5 and 18 chance, and as we post the leaderboard, that would get him 1 behind VJ Singh and Jack White. Dustin Johnson is 2 under through 15. Watson to try to join that trio at 2 under par. Well, you can't do any better than in the hole, so he is 1 back. Now the Morris family. Yeah, that 95 team, Robbie, was pretty good. 10 feet for young Mr. Morris, 7 and 18 chance here. And he rolled an 18, and yeah, so as we said at the beginning, the course is playing at 3 over par for the day. So that bogey to put young Mr. Morris at 2 over, still playing pretty well. I vaguely remember that team. I certainly remember a certain catcher in a foul pole. Now here's the old man, 9 feet for par, about a 50-50 chance below the hole, which is where you want it. And he got a little bit excited with it and overcooked it by 2 feet. So, we go to the 12th hole, both the Morrises bogey. The old man at 1 over, the young man at 2 over, and Tom Watson. I guess we picked the right group today, didn't we? 2 under and 1 back. So the short 381-yard par 4 12th hole. The shortest par 4 on the course, but certainly not the easiest. Well, it's playing at 390 today. Drives which cannot crest a ridge that bisects the hole are gathered into 2 bunkers at the corner of the right-angled fairway. Wow, I read that terribly. Taking a line just right of the bunker on the opposite side may seem too far left. We're going to go left or right at 5, by the way. But the shape of the hole is deceptive. Kind of like the Playtex Cross Your Heart bra. More sand catches any short approaches. Second shots played right of the flag will usually run toward the hole. It's all right. Jack White and VJ Singh are in the lead at 3 under par, and Tom Watson is part of a quad of golfers at 2 under. So you're losing 30 yards off the tee. So Watson's going to aim this at the left end and then kind of, but if he hits his 280, I'd be stunned. The average score, Clinton, today, 73.10 on the par 70. Hit that 272. He's going to be able to pitch it on from there. But, man, with a wind gust, he lost 39 yards off the tee. Super Bowl tournament, what's up with you? Yeah, we're at Royal St. George's, east of London, on the shore of the North Sea, the delta of the River Thames. Yeah, still 3-1 New York. I've talked to my device too many times. I'm going to get yelled at. And old Tom, a bit angry after the last hole, chucks that 304 down the right side. 54 yards left. Top the fifth, I'm being told. Young Mr. Morris will play left. And he lost it right in the bunker. Oh, my goodness. Speaking of Super Bowl tournament, oh, by the way, there you go. Join us on twitch.tv/Super Bowl tournament or youtube.com/Super Bowl tournament this fall for Pro Strategy Football 2021. As Al Red Sox fan and I will call some football for you. I'm on the play-by-play. Al Red Sox fan doing the color. We'll start in a couple weeks with the Hall of Fame game. The 1992 Dallas Cowboys and the 1978 Pittsburgh Steelers. But yep, work that one in. Pro Strategy Football 2021. As me and Uncle Al will be with you for that. Again, I'll make sure I get all the specifics on there. Twitch.tv/Super Bowl tournament or youtube.com/Super Bowl tournament. Watch our channels for details. That should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. And the name of the game, by the way, is Pro Strategy Football. All right. Nelson trying to finish off the 75 Red Sox. So, Watson from 97. Meanwhile, back to the feature presentation of the evening. Going to go a yard to the right and trying to pitch this one in. He's got a good chance to tie for the lead if he gets this close. But that green slopes right to left. Good news is if he misses left, it's going to be up the hill. And the bad news is he's now got a downhill sidewinder from about 15 feet. All right. The good news for Mr. young Mr. Morris is he can pitch this in from the deep bunker. Again, a yard to the right. So much green to work with. He has about 30 feet up the hill. He's at 2 over par. Now, the old man, 54 yards. He can really spin one close. 75 Sox lose to the Mariners 6-3. Louis Tiant took a loss in that game. I still get a kick that you're playing with an actual Amiga. 53 yards. Randy Johnson got the win, I'm being told. I think there was just a bit of anger in that hole. He killed the drive, and he's got a kick-in birdie. And that will get him to level par. First, here's the son. He's going to go for this. He's got a 5 in 36 chance from 27 feet. Oh, sometimes it's just a useless stat. You give up 7 runs and get the win. Or you give up 2 runs and take the loss. So Morris missed that by 5 feet. Now Watson, 13 feet. This is about a 5 in 18 chance. This is not horrible. This is to tie for the lead, I think. Well, Tom Watson is 3 under par. Now young Mr. Morris from 5. Down the hill and in the hole. And now the old man with a 1-inch tap in, and he's level. 11 strikeouts for Randy. So, Jack White bogeyed the 15th. So, Tom Watson is tied with Vijay Singh at 3 under par. And so we go to the 459-yard par 4. 4 bunkers at driving length can be avoided by a straight or a drawn tee shot on the line on the right edge of the Prince's Lodge. More trouble threatens the second shot, usually with a long club. 3 bunkers down the left can catch second shots when the wind is against. Any underhit approach left of center will be swept left into one of the greenside bunkers, and a ridge running the length of the 40-yard green can make for hazardous chipping and putting from the wrong side. It is very difficult to get close if the pin is left of the ridge. Guess where the pin is? Which shrugs shots away from the hole and down to the apron. The right half is easier, gathering the ball down a long valley. 20-yard crosswind left to right, and you're going to lose 10 off the tee. Let's see. So is this 65? St. Louis and Chicago, top of the 5th. Philadelphia. Kurt Simmons singles, second on a 67. Thank you. Second on a wild pitch, advanced to third on a ground out. Glenn Becker to 9-9-2 double play. Cubs 2-0 on a Banks homer in the 467, and I'm assuming, and I know what happens when you assume, that we are doing NP3 for that, my friend. So, NPNG Plus, okay, the freebie clone of APA. All right, so Bob Waterfield says aim for the bunker, so we'll do that. Don't hit the bunker. All that yellow you saw there briefly means they're deep. Hole playing of a stroke average of 4.09. I think Tom Watson wants the lead. Ho! 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 342. That bottom for the Rams. That one was rammed home. Old Tom will be going for that. Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of this course, is that you're playing with such crosswinds. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And Morris lost it 40 yards off target. So he's in the middle of the fescue. He's got 156. The sun again. You're right. We haven't hit a bunker yet. Aiming for it. And somehow that missed the bunker. He hit that 35 yards to the right, and he missed the bunker. Goodness gracious. How does it shank like that? I don't. The crosswinds. So, young Tom's ball is in the hayfield. He's going to have it go 10 yards left or right and lose 5. He's going to try this. He thinks he can roll this on the green. But he found the bunker, and oh my goodness. No, all I know is when you see the distance in the left or right is how many yards that affects. I would imagine at least a gale, 25 to 30. So the cards for NBNG Plus were made by a former APA employee. I thought Bill was the only one that made the cards for Skeeter Soft. Old Tom, again, is in the hayfield. 155. He makes a 4 here. That's, oh, Bill Middleton? Okay. He makes a 4 here, old time, and that's an all-world 4 he's looking at. And all he could do was just put the ball in play. That's a chunky one, but 38 yards to get up and down. Now Mr. Watson has 100. Oh my! Would you look at the ridge on that thing? So Watson is going to try to use the sideboard to get this close. My goodness gracious. I had to pull the 5 hairs I have left in my head if I was trying this in Action PC. Holy Snickers. He hits it to the wrong side, and he's got 35 feet up and down a mountain to get close. So old Tom, up and down for par. Look, he's going to use the sideboard there. Going to try and pitch this. Well, he can pitch it. Oh, and he snuggled that one up really close. He's got to tap in for par. What a par for old Tom, potentially, considering where he was. Because look where the sun is, in the deep bunker. 26 yards. He can get some club on it. It's going to have to lob it out. And he got all ball. He's got, oh my goodness gracious, he's got 45 feet for par. 41 feet. He's going to lag it. He's going to eat a bogey here. Oh! I would have made it if I'd gone for it. So he goes to 3 over. 6 shots out of the lead. Watson's going to go for this. He thinks he can make it. Mr. Watson is ate his porridge this morning from 34 feet, and I would imagine, we'll check, solo possession of the lead. He couldn't even get it to the top of the hill. We told you before, the golf gods giveth, and the golf gods taketh away. And right now, they have punished Mr. Watson a lot. Real baseball update. Yankees 4-1, top the 5th, bases loaded. Oh, third out. Still 4-1 Yankees. So Mr. Scherzer tonight, right? Anyway, 5 and 18 chance. This putt is going to run. Pitching for the Nats, Scherzer or Strasburg? He makes it! Would you believe that? He hits the world's worst putt for birdie. He has 13 feet for par. That is pretty much all downhill. And he poured it in like a good pint of beer. Unbelievable. Tom Watson stays at 3 under par. And now old Tom going to pour this in for par. And we go to the 14th hole. What a par for Tom Watson. And so we go to the par 5, 14th. 547-yard par 5 playing into the wind. Oh, Scherzer's pitching. Into the wind. Minus 25 off the tee with a 10-yard crosswind from right to left. So the wind plays a large part here. Fill in your own saying for that. The hole can require anything from a rescue club off the tee and a mid-iron to 3 full woods. Safe drives favor the left of the wide, flat fairway, and second shot should skirt the narrow strip between out of bounds and 2 centrally placed bunkers, or face an approach from the left over bunkers to a 2-tier turbulent green, running toward the stream just feet beyond and falling away at the back. So you can see the dots on the screen are out of bounds. Driver in hand. Again, Watson playing unbelievable golf. It's possible birdie holes, playing at 497 scoring average. Don't lose it right. No, he goes left. He blocked it left, 267, and he will not be able to get home in 2. Old Tom will try the same thing, driver in hand. Can't tell you just how good level par is today. And he will take that to the bank. 290 to get home. Young Mr. Morris, 3 over par. Plays at 271. He may have a chance to get it on from there. I think I saw there was 1 eagle on 14. All right, Tom Watson to play first. 296. He cannot get it. Oh my goodness. 25 yards into the wind. Yes, that's definitely the Gorton Fisherman. So Watson, the only good thing about this right to left wind on this 14th hole is that you really would have to hit a boner to lose it out of bounds. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good, wouldn't you? Got 90 feet to get up and down. Old Tom. Only a handful of golfers are even under par today. He hooked it left, but he hooked it so well. He's got 45 yards. He'll have a bunker in play, but I think he can go over that. Young Tom's going to have a rip at this green. He's on! And he's got an eagle chance about 20 feet away. Oh, boy. What a shot by young Tom Morris. Now, Dad. Really? 3 yards long? Well, he's going to have to contend with the ridge and then down the other side. Boy, I don't... Really? Okay. Yeah, you know, never mind what I'm thinking. It's got 5 feet to get to 1 under par. Now Watson will try to land it short of the down slope. The aim point is 6 feet left. He's got a birdie putt, 7-8 feet. All right, young Mr. Morris, this is going to go for this from 21 feet to get to 1 over. I think the second eagle on the 14th today. Well, you couldn't make a bigger mess of that if you tried. He hit it so hard, he's got 7 feet left. In fact, the most dreaded words in all of golf. It's still your turn. 7 feet up the hill. 10 and 18, 5 and 9 chance here. And he left it a foot short. Now Watson, 7 feet, side hill putt. 5 and 9 chance. This is to get to 4 under. Nope. Missed it by 3 feet. Can Old Tom make birdie to get to 1 under? Yes. Yes, he can. So Watson's in with a par. And so Dustin Johnson, Vijay Singh, Jack White, and Tom Watson are 3 under par. And that's an amazing score as we move on to the 15th. All right, Mr. Waterfield was in the 8th grade when Paul Henderson scores to win the Summit Series in '72. The whole school shook when he scored in Game 8. If Ratcast is still here, he loves to sim that. He's done it in a couple different engines. All right, playing 30 yards downwind, the 496-yard par 4. Think it's easy? I don't think so. It's playing at 443 today. A classic hole, and from the back tees, the longest par 4 on the course. Even a big drive between the 5 bunkers leaves a challenging carry, often with a long club, over cross bunkers to a relatively sharp and small contoured green that falls away to the right. Shots missing on the left face a difficult pitch over a bank. The other side is safer, but the ball must be run up a steep slope to a flag often only a few feet beyond. Center cut today, not too difficult. Yeah, I did Action PC Hockey, and so next Friday night, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, we'll unbox it for you. How about that? Clinton was a senior in high school in this fall of 1972. I believe I filled the diaper during Game 8 or 4. So Old Tom is just going to give this a rip. Right down Broadway is the plan. 318 yards. He's got 170 left. Now Watson tied for the lead at 3 under. Well, that kind of aimed at the bunker. He lost it left. He's in the rough. He's got 174, and so it will all depend on the lot. Yeah, Dave, I don't know if you saw the email today, but you will be able to set up your own scenarios in the new version of Action PC Hockey like you do in the football game. So it's score and time and all that. Here's young Tom Morris, 309 yards. The aiming point, he could literally hit this about 380. And I suppose after 3-putting the 14th green, he's going to be upset enough to do that. Is Franchise Hockey Manager any good? Talk to Mr. Dave. As I tell you, that's just a good shot. How is this playing a half shot over par? You're playing downwind with the driver. He hits at 340. So Watson has the 8-iron. He can get it there, but that hayfield should wrap around the club. The key is, can he get it past that trio of bunkers? No. It is not a deep bunker, and he'll have plenty of green to work with. Now the old man, 170. Going to go with the 9-iron and aim it right at the flag. 4-1 to York, top of the 6th. And that landed just short and will trundle down. Yeah, that is a good show topic. I agree. Scenario play. 148 for young Tom. Gonna go with a knockdown. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm not. False front. so he's got to make sure he gets it there. He does. I hope he doesn't miss from 6 feet. That's to get the 2 over. So let's take a look at the green. You saw the false front. Watson aiming 2 yards past the hole on the left. He may actually have an easier shot than old Tom. I thought he was going to leave that 7-8 yards short. He's still going to have about 15 feet, but it's a par chance nonetheless. Old Tom, 1 yard past. Yep. Well, 7-8 feet. Some tough putts, and they got to be tired. All right. Watson, 10 feet. 15 and 36 chance. Not divisible by 2. So, oh yeah, 5 and 9. You can reduce that. See, I did learn something about reducing fractions. 10 feet up the hill. He heard the crowd say he was getting tired, and so he shoots a nasty look westward. So he remains at 3 under. Boxcars, always a good rule. Doubles are good in this game. Old Mr. Morris, 8 feet. 18, 6 and 9. Or 2/3 of a chance here. 2 and 3 chance to stay at 1 under. Nope. Just short. Now his son, 6 feet for birdie. Again, 12. Now that you do that, now it's screw me. A 2 and 3 chance here for young Tom. He leaves it short. It's the second hole in a row that he should have had a birdie. This is not a course that you want to be leaving shots out there for. You're just not going to get the chances. In all honesty, he's now left 2 birdies on the floor. Boo is right. He stays at 3 over. I mean, you'll take that today. But my goodness gracious. We go to the 16th, and our last promo of the day is for our new project starting August 9th. A replay of, well, you know, something that happened in 1964 in the city of Tokyo. And it actually does have something to do with the Shinkansen train, because that's when it happened. But if you are missing certain things that should have happened a year ago, or that should have started today, the Summer of Tokyo will redo the entire Olympic Games, starting August 9th and going for another year. That's starting August 9th on Retro Sports Network. So the last par 3 on the day, Thomas Bjorn's hope of lifting the claret jug in 2003 evaporated when he took a 3 to get out of the sand on the right. Oh, those bunkers just look like... A magnet even for balls landing several feet on the fringe. It was also here, in the 1967 Dunlop Masters, that Tony Jacklin made the first televised hole-in-one. I did not know that. The bunker ring green, which slopes down from the back, is wide and 3 clubs deep. It is a big green, and it is easy to leave a 50-foot putt. Should be fun. All right, so -5 off the tee, and a crosswind right to left at 10. Any other surprises? No. So center of the green, and a knockdown 8 for Watson. Didn't seem to move at all on him, but that will do. And center the green 30 feet and is playing to a stroke average of 3.30. I'm picking up more people as we go along. So now young Tom knocked down 8. And again, that did not move. The good thing about this game, Mr. Waterfield, I know your name isn't Bob, is that the weather is variable. And so while I'm being looky here, it says L/R minus 15. I'm trying to play for it right to left. Sometimes it doesn't move that way. Chris, okay. Knockdown 7 for the old man. What? Oh, what? The wind changed. It's now 20 yards. Gonna play full 8 iron. Well, he did not find the bunker, but he did not find the green either. But he will putt. From 22 feet, he will not go for this. You'll lose stuff on the chart putting from the fairway. He hold it. He hold it. He made that from 22 feet, and old Tom Morris goes to 1 under par. The kid's going, geez, Dad, how'd you do that? So young Tom will lag. I want to say that young Tom Morris died before his father, got ill, and his father died of a broken heart, essentially. Leaves it 2 feet short, but a good lag nonetheless. So now Mr. Watson, 25 feet. I think he'll just take his 2-putt and run here. In good shape, 3 under par. Yeah, 2 feet away. And so Dustin Johnson and VJ Singh at 3 under par. Tom Watson, the only one left on the course, at 3 under par. Boros, Archer, and White at 2 under. Thompson, Park, Sr., Byron, Nelson, Payne, Stewart, and a gaggle of others at 1 under. As we play the dying stages of the first round of the Open Championship. Big clue! I was wondering where you were going to be. So old Tom, first to hit here on 17, a 426-yard par 4. Although it is littered with swales and humps, a flat draw following the line of the dogleg fairway will produce good results. The green, often a foot faster than others on the course, is protected by bunkers left and right and sits on a plateau with a false front, so anything underhit will roll back. Recovering from an overstrong approach is even harder unless the pin is on the front of the green. You're losing 10 on distance and 20 right to left. And so old Tom will play the driver there. Yeah, tomorrow night we're with you at 7 Eastern, 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific for round 2. And then on the weekends, noon Eastern for the leaders. Brad, Lorenzo had a stent put in this week. We saw him briefly yesterday. He says he's doing okay, but with his troubles and his brother's troubles, he's had a rough week, yeah. Old Tom is ready. And it's that one right down Broadway. Yeah, absolutely. Watson asks the crowd if someone still thinks he's tired. I believe so from this issue. He's got a number of things going on, but oh, wow, you fit right in there. Watson. Left side of the fairway, should be in good shape. 136 to get home. Didn't see any of it, been doing this for the last 2 hours. Young Mr. Morris. 299 is the aim point. And he got all of that one. He's got 130. All right. I'll read the bad joke. So, Chris Waterfield says, being a Tiger fan, it was sad to hear Alkane Line pass. What I'll miss most are those Alkane Line batteries. Please try the veal. Will be here all the week. Raining in D.C. I knew it was supposed to. Old Tom -5 here. 139 to go. 10 from right to left. So I take it the tarp is on the field. Tip your waitress. False front. And a knockdown 9-iron for Old Tom. Well, he put it on the right side, but it's on the green, and he's got about 20 feet. Mr. Watson. Knockdown pitching wedge. Yeah, Old Tom was born and died at St. Andrews. And it is a rain delay in D.C. I'm right. His son died before him, right? Young Tom? And Watson hit hard, but he's on the putting surface about 20 feet. Young Tom, 129. It's a tough pin to get close to. Gonna go with the regular sandwich. 5-time winner. Yep, that's why he's in the feature group. Old Tom died 1 month before Henry Chadwick, who created the box score, I believe, or scored a ball game. Another great Scottish sportsman. And young Tom got a fortuitous bounce, and he's got about 10 feet. But the putter's not been his friend. Watson here will not go for it. And he leaves it 2 feet short. And he's in with a par. So he's looking at a 67 on a day when par is really 73. Now, Old Tom trying to get to 2 under. A 1 in 6 chance. Just short. Now young Tom's got 10 feet. Rain delay. So let's see. 7 in 18 chance here for young Tom. And he makes it. So he gets to 2 over. Oops. Set off my speaker thingy. And so we go to the 18th hole. Oh, well, this puppy's playing a half shot over par, people. 459-yard par 4. The drive needs to avoid the deep bunker on the left, but should come up short of the cross bunkers and in a 30 minus, outlived his son by some 33 years. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize it was that long. I thought it was really quick. Ugh. The drive needs to avoid the deep bunker on the left. Okay. The green is fronted by a shallow ridge. It slopes from the right and sweeps anything left to center into a dip, which George Duncan marred in a great final round to miss a chance at tying from the 1922 Open. 63 years later, Sandy Lyle failed to make it up and down from Duncan's Hollow, but got down in 2 more to win the championship. That was in '85. So, young Tom is just going to try to air this out. Aims it at the right bunker. He cannot get it there. Yeah, I think you're kind of right. I think if somebody, especially in the hockey thing, gets it in the double. Yeah, we'll have a 16-team postseason. Just as a weird year. And by the way, as a Montreal Canadiens fan, the irony of having to play in the playoffs in Montreal and play all 5 games in Toronto isn't lost on me. Yeah, well, the owners have wanted it this year, so the players agreed to it. So a 40-yard gust there against him, and so he's got 267 off the tee, 186 to get home. And submit your bids today to host the Toronto Blue Jays. Your team, your city can host them as long as you've got a park with good lights. Old Tom. A lot of roll. 284. And now Watson, he's going to lose 40 yards off this tee shot. Somehow the gust came back and cut it the other way. So second shot's coming up here on 18. 185 for young Tom. He's got to hit it 205. Gonna hit a 6-iron. We're with you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern, 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific, midnight British summertime for round 2 coverage. And young Tom lost that to the right. And he's in the fescue. So 170 for old Tom. 6-iron. He's had a magnificent round. Oh my goodness. That hit the fairway and bounced in the rough. And now Watson, 165. Going to go at this with an 8-iron. Best shot of the 3, and that thing rolled back about 10 feet. So, going to have some challenging up and downs here. The green goes the right way for Morris, so he's going to land it about 10 feet short and hope it matriculates down for an easy par. And the only thing that was easy is that he hit it so badly that he's going to have to pitch it again. Now the old man. Oh, goodness gracious, look where he's going to land this. Up over the ridge and then into the hill, and in hopes he can bank it in. No. Mr. Waterfield, not a big fan of the Canadian National Exhibition Stadium. Now, young Tom. Ah, gusher. It's a gusher in D.C. See, I didn't miss any of it then. It wasn't... Was it an official game? Or were they only in the 4th? Yeah, it's an official game, so the Yankees would win. Young Tom. Well, he's going to take a bogey there, but a very good pitch. Oh, they'll be resumed from where they left off. They will not be restarted. So will they suspend it or call it an official game? It would be an official game if they were in the 6th. Yeah, they can't restart them because you're only making 1 or 2 trips to each city. Anyway, Watson. Watch young Tom's pitch. Oh, he did a little too hard. A little too cute with it. And that's about 8 feet. Now, old Tom Morris, 19 feet for par. To shoot a 1 under 69. And a 1 in 6 chance of doing it. Oh, he just missed. And he almost missed that, too. You don't want to ever see a red 2 and a white 4 on the green. So, 70 for old Tom. Watson to stay at 3 under. So that would be an official game, 4-1 on the top of the 6th. So they would just say, win for Cole, loss for Scherzer. And a complete game, I would think. And Watson misses the 8-footer. He had a 50-50 shot. So Dustin Johnson and Vijay Singh are the leaders. So 68 for Tom Watson. And now young Tom to finish out the round. 3 feet for bogey. And he misses it. So he's going to be in with a 74. His putter. Now good for Mookie. Has been bulky. He does it in 32 putts. So here's how we finish the round. Old Tom out in 36, home in 34 for even par 70. Young Tom out in 36 and home in 38. And that was just chunky. And Tom Watson, he'll want that par back on 18, but he'll take the 2 under 70 for 68. So Dustin Johnson and Vijay Singh, 3 under 67s. Julius Boros, George Archer, Jack White, and Tom Watson are in at 2 under. Peter Thompson, Willie Park, Byron Nelson, Payne Stewart, Ricky Fowler, James Braid, Nick Price, Patrick Harrington. 1 under 69. Only 14 golfers broke par. And Fuzzy Zeller, Mr. Ratcast, if you're still there, shot an even par 70. And so the course eased up a little bit during our coverage today. 72.97 is how we played, about 3 over par. And so tomorrow, we got a good threesome for you tomorrow. Peter Thompson, who also won this championship 5 times. Darren Clark, who won this championship the last time it was played at Royal St. George's. And Sebi Ballesteros, who's also at 1 over par. I'm that button. All right, so thank you so much for hanging in. We won't know the cut until tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching tonight. And so we'll see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for Peter Thompson, Darren Clark, and Sebi Ballesteros. And now that I have all the slides done, it won't take so long to do them all. So thank you so much. Baseball tomorrow at noon. Oh, I can put that back up. Let's do that, shall we? Yes. So tomorrow at noon, Philadelphia at Los Angeles is our baseball game. And remember the Open Championship Here, we'll show that again. Philadelphia at Los Angeles tomorrow at noon on Twitch, and the Open Championship continues Friday night, 7 Eastern, 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific, and midnight British Summer Time. Hey, thanks a bunch for hanging in there with us tonight, guys. We'll see you tomorrow at noon for baseball. Good night.